Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to share with you my special book, Sally the Stone and Friends, Spread Kindness and Joy. My name is Sally Schnarr, and I'm the one that wrote the words to this storybook, which means I'm the author. The gentleman that did the really fun illustrations that you're going to see, his name is Jeremy Provost. Now, tell me, has anybody ever found a painted stone? Raise your hand if you found a painted stone. Who has ever painted a stone and hidden it for others to find? That's exactly what this story is about. It's about the journey of a small painted stone that was picked up on a beach, gently washed, and hidden for others to find. This stone spreads kindness and joy, and we'll talk about that through the book. So let's get started. So the title of the story again is Sally the Stone and Friends, Spread Kindness and Joy. My name is Sally the Stone. I lived on a sandy beach with other stones that looked just like me. I enjoyed watching people walk on the beach, but I felt lonely. People walked by me without even noticing I was there. Then one day, a small hand picked me up and gently placed me in a bucket. The hand belonged to a little girl. She took me to her house, washed me with care. Once I was clean and dry, she painted a beautiful ladybug on me. I was so pleased and proud. The little girl tucked me inside a bag and took me to a playground. She took me out of the bag and held me in her hand. I watched the other children play and noticed one little boy who seemed sad. The little girl noticed him too. She placed me underneath the slide where the boy was playing and hurried away. Now you see the little boy that's sad on the swing. Think about this for a moment. If you saw a little boy or a little girl on a swing that was sad, what would you go up and do or say that would make that little person feel better? This is the first step of recognizing how you can be kind. It wasn't long before the sad little boy found me. He picked me up and ran to show me to his friend. "Cooper, look what I found," said Tommy. "Isn't she pretty?" I was feeling sad, but the stone with the ladybug on it really cheered me up. I think I'll call her Sally. So now this little stone that was lonely on a beach that had a ladybug painted on it now has a name. Her name is Sally. "I wish I had a stone like that," Cooper replied. Tommy's eyes lit up. "You know what, Cooper? We should gather a bunch of stones, paint pictures on them, and hide them where other kids can find them. That will make them happy, just like Sally has made me happy." "That's a great idea," Cooper agreed. "Let's go," Tommy said. Tommy tucked me in his pocket. Then he and Cooper headed to the beach to gather a bucket full of stones. On the way home, they stopped to talk to their good friend Addie. "Look, Addie," Tommy said as he pulled me from his pocket. "This is Sally the Stone. I found her at the playground." "What a beautiful ladybug," Addie said. "Would you like to help us paint some stones?" Tommy asked. "I sure would," Addie replied. "Let's find Avery and Maddie. I bet they would like to paint stones too." Tommy and his friends gathered at his house. They spent all afternoon painting stones. Tommy painted ladybugs. Addie painted butterflies. Cooper painted funny monster faces. Avery painted flowers, and Maddie painted hearts. Would you like to see the beautiful stones that they painted? Look at the ladybugs and monster faces and flowers and hearts and the butterflies. Aren't those pretty? Now the children need to go and hide these stones. Where would you hide the stones if you were going to hide stones for someone to find? They went to the zoo. Let's find out where they hid them. The next day, the kids took the stones to the zoo. Addie dashed off to the petting zoo with her 6 butterfly stones. She found a really great spot to hide them near the cute baby goats. Can you find 6 butterfly stones? Let's count the stones together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Avery tiptoed near the lion's den with 4 flower stones. There were 2 new lion cubs asleep in the sun. She was very quiet as she hid her stones, not too far from where the cubs slept. Can you find 4 flower stones? Let's look together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cooper raced off to the giraffe enclosure with 5 monster face stones. He admired the giraffe's long necks, then hid his stones for other kids to seek. Can you find 5 monster face stones? Let's find them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maddie ran the other direction to the polar bear exhibit. She had 3 stones with pretty hearts painted on them, but brr, it was cold. She hid them quickly and hurried away. Can you find the 3 heart stones? One's in the trash can, one's down on the ground, and the other one is up on the ledge. I love this illustration because look at the polar bears. They're looking right at you, and you can see through the glass, and you can see the bubbles in the water. This might be one of my favorite illustrations. Tommy took his 7 ladybug stones and skipped off to the building where the birds were kept. He enjoyed listening to the chirps and tweets. It was fun hiding the stones around the brightly colored birds. Can you find 7 ladybug stones? Let's look. There's one on top of the hat of the zookeeper. There's one in her pocket. And then the third one is on the railing. 4, 5, 6, 7. The kids met back up, but they were tired from racing all over the zoo. They got some ice cream, and then they waited. They wanted to give kids and adults some time to find their hidden stones. They were hoping the stones would bring joy to the people who found them. Perhaps some would be inspired to paint stones of their own and bring joy to even more people. After the kids had finished their ice cream, they walked through the zoo. They watched the smiles on people's faces as they found the painted stones. The kids headed off to watch the penguins slide and play. Addie looked down and she saw a painted stone. Someone else had had the same idea as they did. The rest of the kids also found stones. These stones had words painted on them. You don't always have to have pictures on stones. Addie picked up love on a stone. Maddie discovered kindness. Tommy grabbed fun. Cooper found happiness. And Avery scooped up friendship. The kids held their stones tightly in their hands. What a great day this had been. They had shared love, kindness, fun, happiness, and friendship with others, and had gotten it all back in the end. Just think, exclaimed Tommy. This all happened because of Sally the Stone. I was so glad Tommy hadn't forgotten about me. He pulled me from his pocket. Now you have 2 stones, Cooper said. We can share, Sally, Tommy decided. That's what being a good friend is all about. The kids headed out of the zoo and came up with a poem as they went. Sally the Stone, when we have you, We are never alone. So much fun and so much joy to every little girl and boy. Hugs and giggles, Sally the Stone. I really hope you enjoyed me reading this story. I certainly had fun writing it, and I have one more quote that I want to read to you. It's on the back of the book. It takes a world of those being kind to show the world how to be kind, one small stone at a time. And I look at each one of you as a little stone. And together, each one of you can be kind to the person sitting next to you. Your classroom can be kind to the other classes in your school. And that's how kindness spreads, is by everybody being kind to one another. Thank you so much for joining with me. And I'd love to visit you in your classroom. Together we could talk about, how did I come up with this idea? What were some mistakes I made? Perhaps even, what does my sloppy copy look like, or my rough draft? I'd be happy to share that all with you, and maybe we can Skype together. So thank you so much for joining me. Hugs and giggles, Sally the Stone.